now at 9:14 p.m. on the 1st of September that I'm actually getting a chance to start this vlog. But I'm painting and waiting for my nails to dry, so let's start the vlog now. I'm about an hour into the audiobook of The Girl Who Saved the King of Sweden by Jonas Jonasson. I think this would probably be better to read as a physical book. I don't know why it was that I tried it as an audiobook. I think I just wanted something that was an exciting and engaging format for me, because it wasn't a book that I was super hype about. It wasn't one that I was particularly excited about reading it. And that's something you will probably see if you see the look on my face and the kind of reaction when it came out, part of the Bookoplathon TBR. But I've started it. I don't think I'm going to quit with it because I don't even remember what the next oldest book on my TBR is, owned, physical, whatever. I think I'm going to try the physical copy of it, maybe starting from tomorrow. But I do, as soon as possible, also want to get finished with You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. I'm on page maybe about 170, 180. Because it's a reread, I know that what the story is and I know what happens in it. I'm not need to read it now. I'm kind of just plodding along with it, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of figuring out if this is my favourite Emily Henry book. I think so far, yes, but the obviousness with which Poppy and Alex should be together, want to get together, want each other, it's phenomenal. It's sky high. There are other audiobook potentials for this TBR. I think the audiobook of The Setup is already on Scribd, so I'll go and check that out tomorrow when I get to work. I don't know if the audiobook for The Dead Romantics is already out. I'm going to check out that as well and just see if it's there. It might be, it might not be. I'll give it a try. But I think I might have to give the audiobook of The Girl Who Saved the King of Sweden a bit of a wide swerve. Today it is Friday. It is just coming on to 8:15 in the evening. It's already starting to get dark at 8:15 in the evening, and I'm not a big fan of it. But tomorrow, Saturday, is the start of the 69-hour final ever round of Not Safe for Workathon, which is run by Paige and Pages with Paige. I was one of the initial, very first ever co-hosts for her round back in June of 2020, I want to say. The whole readathon is kind of based on making book suggestions out of sex positions, or making book suggestions out of the stages of pregnancy or pregnancy-related cravings or BDSM-related words, things that would always come to your mind when you're thinking about non-safe for work stuff. It's the final ever round, and I wanted to give it kind of the last hurrah it deserved and the send-off it deserved. So I'm going to be hosting 2 separate reading sprints over the next 2 days. I have one coming up tomorrow evening from 5 until 9, and then I have another coming up on Sunday evening again from 5 until 9. But I really want to be finished with this before I go into it. I really want to be reading a new book for it. I feel like I want to read something that's going to be a little bit steamier for the 2 sprints that I'm going to be hosting, and I have got exactly the book in mind. I know what the book I'm going to read is. It's going to be Count Your Lucky Stars, which is also on my TBR for this month with Bookoplathon. I'm on page 214 of 361, I think. So it is possible, but Friday night is my comedy night. You have 8 out of 10 Castos Countdown, and you have The Last Leg, both of which are on at 10 or 11 o'clock at night for my time zone. So it's doable. I don't think I'm going to get all 100 and something pages read in about an hour and 45 minutes. But if I really, really put myself to doing it, I could get a good chunk of it read. I could get to maybe the 300s, the low 300s, maybe the 330s by the end of 10 o'clock when countdown starts. To kind of keep with the tone of Bookoplathon, what I might put on is Becca's reading sprints, Pomodoro sprints that she has got up on her channel. It's got nothing to do with Bookoplathon, but she has this video where she does 25 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of a break, 25 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of a break. And I find the Pomodoro technique really helpful for me to concentrate at work or to get a good bit of cleaning done around the house. And I have used it before for reading, so I know that it does kind of structure my reading a bit more. And this feels like the best time to do it. I am sitting right in front of my bookshelf, like actually looking at it, because I have just made an executive decision and needed my bookshelf to help me to do it. I'm gonna DNF or abandon either or. The Girl Who Saved the King of Sweden by Jonas Jonasson. I'm not engaging with it. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not vibing with it. So I need to go for the next oldest book that is on my TBR. And I do believe that it is the other Jonas Jonasson book, The 100-Year-Old Man Who Jumped Out the Window and Disappeared. I think this is probably going to be a little bit better. I have a feeling that this is kind of like a Forrest Gump vibe, in that the 100-year-old man who jumped out the window has been at a lot of important moments in Swedish history, or has just magically turned up at things that are very important. Paige from Pages with Paige is running some sprints right now for Not Safe for Workathon. There's going to be a prompt drop in about 15 minutes, and I'm going to try and see if it will fit into it, or if not, I'm going to have to go through all of these again and find a book that I'm going to read for my own sprints later on. Actually, prompt is live now. Shall we watch it together?
My name is Paige, this is Paige to the Page, and this is the second prompt drop for Not Safe for Workathon. And so the ball is B12. For B12, the prompt is shit. Read a 5-star prediction and hope that it's the shit. So again, you can read any prompt that is on the B list, so 1 through to 14, but the prompt that I'll be going with is the 5-star prediction.
That wasn't perfect. The 100-year-old man is definitely not a 5-star prediction. But also on my TBR for September are Hamnet and Count Your Lucky Stars. Now, Hamnet is unfortunately off the table because Amelia and I are starting a buddy read of this on the 12th, which is next Monday. So that's out. Count Your Lucky Stars. I have loved the other 2 books that are on the series. It's likely that this might be a 5 stars. I'm not entirely certain if it will be, but this is the most heavy 5-star prediction that I have outside of Hamnet, which is a little bit time constricted. I think I'm going to do it. I think for the sprints later on today, I am going to recount Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Belfleur. First, I've got to go and collect a parcel that has just arrived to a pack station. And I don't know, A, where the hell my headphones are, and B, when I do find them, which I just have, should I listen to the audiobook, or at least the start of the audiobook of Count Your Lucky Stars? Or should I just wait until I've gotten to the sprints later on with Michelle, Lexie and Cailey? I might just listen to a podcast and wait until then. made a decision, and I don't think you're going to support the decision, but I've made it anyway. I'm taking TBR vet off, and I'm going to re-roll for it, because nothing that is like a TBR vet is actually striking me. So I think I'm even going to take them off, my TBR. So what I'm going to do is I have the board right in front of me here. I have my little 2 Czech Koruna dice with me. I'm going to use the Home Assistant app on my phone as the 2 dice again. If it lands on TBR vet, which is a 4, I have to roll again. But I have to stick with that one. I can't swap and change it. I can't go, oh no, that was awful, I'm going to go for it. No. No. You read it. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's see where we end up. There's the board. There we are. We've started on go. Let's roll 2 dice. Roll 2 dice.
I rolled 2 6-sided dice and got 2 and 5.
7. Shit. That was the chance cards, which I had not actually filled out. So I'm going to go and fill it out. I'll go for 4. I'll pick out 4 books that I'm either really excited to read or not super hyped about reading. I might even go and pick them out from like my Kindle or from my NetGalley TBR. And we'll see what we end up with. I've got a sticky note here. Ooh, 6 books. 3 of them that are relatively newly added onto my NetGalley TBR that I really would like to get reading anytime soon, and 3 of them that are there a little bit longer that I'm not particularly, don't need to read them right now. I can kind of wait out for them. Let's see what it says. So, pick a number between 1 and 6.
Here's a number between 1 and 6. It's 6.
6. So that is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh, which is her latest book. I think it just came out or is going to come out in October. Got it added on NetGalley about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. It is a holiday romance. And I've seen loads of really positive reviews about it on Bookstagram that I don't know if I can wait until Christmas to read it. But also, reading it now didn't seem like the best opportunity to do so. So I added it on because I was really hyped for it, but also had that in the back of my mind that it's a Christmas book, might not be the best time. But the dice have spoken. Let's see how it goes. Almost forgot. Count your lucky stars, by the way. I'm having a very good time. I decided to go for the coral one. I'm having a great time. For some stupid reason, I forgot that this is an Alexandria Bellefleur. It's one of the One True Pairing series, I would call it. So it has got these kind of little what X are you in regards to your star sign. So for example, one of them was what TV show with roommates are you based on your star sign? Nugra, by the way, I'm Nugra. I didn't know that this has an and they were roommates kind of a section to it. I didn't really check the back of the book before I went into it very heavily. I just knew that it was about Margot, who is Brendan from the second book's best friend and business partner, and they've been working together for a really long time. But she was in school with a girl called Olivia about 10 years ago. Olivia is just coming out of a divorce. She and her husband had very differing views on whether or not they wanted children. She didn't, her husband did. And he felt like, well, I can change her mind. Easy. Don't do that. So the marriage ended, and Olivia is now kind of looking to get back on her feet. She needs a place to live, so she moves in with Margot, who has a spare room. They used to date, I think, when they were either in high school or at college or at camp or something. They knew each other in the past and have dated previously. So there's a kind of a second chance romance to it, which I don't always vibe with. But here it feels okay. And I don't know what the reason that it feels okay is, but I'm intrigued to go and see if it continues to be okay. You know what? One thing I don't love about BookTube is that sometimes it can make you feel like you're reading competitively, like you're reading at the Olympics or something. Because I haven't actually properly read for the last maybe 3-4 days, I think. Today is Wednesday, and I feel like I haven't properly picked up this book since maybe Saturday, Sunday. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, you're not going to finish your September TBR. You're not going to do any of the books that you wanted to read. You're not going to get through any of them. It's the fucking 7th of September. I have another 23 days to get this done. Anyway, I'm also reading 2 audiobooks because I like to punish myself that way. There's a group on Instagram who are reading through some of the Maeve Binchy books. And I've only ever read one of them, but I really enjoyed it. So when I saw that they were doing Light a Penny Candle, which is Maeve's first ever book, published in like 1982 or 3, I think, I thought, you know what? I'll hop on. My library has an audiobook copy of it, so I loaned that out. I am on, I believe, chapter 8 or 9. I'm definitely ahead of the curve. I am ahead of like the little schedule that they've made out. I think they want you to be on like chapter 6 or something by today. I got to that on the second day because this book is really engaging. It's really good. It is about 2 young girls called Aisling and Elizabeth. Aisling lives in Ireland and Elizabeth lives in the UK. And it is some of it is set during the Blitz, so like 1940s London. And Elizabeth is sent over from England to live with Aisling because their mothers, Violet and Eileen, know each other from some description. They know each other some way. So Elizabeth spends a lot of her teenage years with Aisling and Aisling's family. And you can see a huge difference in how these families are run, how these households are run. The camaraderie between the families, like Aisling has got like a football team of siblings basically, and Elizabeth is an only child, so there's a huge difference there of what life is like at home, whereas for Aisling it's very loud, it's very vibrant, everybody is shouting all the time at each other, whereas with Elizabeth's house it's very quiet and it's very demure, and it's just her and her mom and her dad, and it's very kind of, I almost want to say stiff upper lip, but not, if that makes sense to you. I've also found an audiobook of The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, which was one of the books on the Bookoplathon TBR. And I'm not very far in. I'm not far in enough that I can make a judgment, but what I've read so far is actually quite good. Now let's go on to this. So I'm on page 134, which you wouldn't think that I should be on, having been reading it for about 6 days. I don't know what it is. I think I'm burnt out. I've read more books in August than I have any other month of the year so far. So I think maybe I just burnt myself out a little bit. Maybe I just need to take a little bit of a break, maybe put this down. Even though I'm enjoying it, and it's got some of the BuzzFeed style lists that I was really loving from the first 2 books, and we're slightly coming to a mildly spicy scene, if that makes sense. So it's good, but I don't know if I'm in a reading mood. I don't know if I'm able to read right now. And that's sad, because if I'm not reading, what the hell am I going to do with my time? I actually opened that on the day in Alexanderplatz U-Bahn station, but the audio made it sound like I was standing in a bin shouting out at you and nothing was happening. So I have to do this without having opened without opening the book for you. But the book was The Idea of You by Robin Lee. I have never heard of her. I have never heard of this book. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I don't know anything about it. And it gives me big kind of Daisy Jones and the Six, Elton John vibes. I think that's just because of the aviator style glasses with coloured lenses. I know that Elton John wears a lot of coloured lenses. I'm not entirely sure what this is about. Oh, everyone in the world knows his name, but it's you he wants. This feels like a celebrity romance, like a singer. Oh, captivating frontman of boy band of the moment, August Moon, whose face is everywhere. I haven't read a lot of celebrity romances lately, but I really like the concept of a celebrity romance, so I think we're gonna get on pretty well. Hey Houston, we have a slight problem. I'm meant to be already reading this. I am supposed to be starting Hamnet today, 12th of September, with Amelia. We're buddy reading it together. This, by the way, is the bookmark. Matches it phenomenally. But the problem is that I'm still in the middle of Count Your Lucky Stars. I am in a slump. I know that because I haven't picked a book up properly since about Thursday. And I think I know the source of this slump, and I think it's my own doing, because I read so much in August. I read 14 books, I think, across the month of August, which is the highest I've ever read in a month so far in 2022. But also there was Rom-Comathon, also there was the summer mixtape, Readathon. This month there is Bookoplathon. I feel like my reading is a little bit too structured. I don't really have that kind of, oh, I can just pick up whatever I want to read. I know I can pick up anything. I don't have to think about what the next book is because it's already been laid out for me. And I think that structure is getting me down a little bit too much. I think I'm just getting a little bit too bogged down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on my lunch in about 5 minutes, but I'm going to bring Hamnet with me and start it. We haven't actually said, myself and Amelia, we haven't said if we're going to check in after like every chapter or every 5 chapters. Actually, just flicking through, there doesn't seem to be chapters like numbered anyway, so let's see how that goes. But when I come back from my lunch break, I'm going to put on the audiobook of Count Your Lucky Stars. I'm on maybe chapter 16, 17 at the moment, so I am about halfway through the book, and I'm going to try and finish it before the end of my workday. Wish me luck. Burnt out. And I don't just think from reading, I think it's from pretty much everything that is happening at the moment. Life is just getting a little bit difficult at the moment. My anxiety is definitely spiking a lot in the last couple of days. I feel tired, I look tired, I'm not eating properly. So I know that that's not a good sign when I go into that kind of spiral. It's not a good sign for me. So I need to just be gentle to myself. I think I'm gonna finish up with this vlog here. Maybe give it a break until the end of the week. Start again on Monday and just see how I feel about reading by Monday. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.